So to begin this exit interview, I want to speak a little bit about how we got our topic and the process that we kind of used to write the analytical report and some of the findings that we found throughout that process. So the problem that we were presented with was that we needed to structure a work schedule for a specific company, either one that is already in the works or one that we decided to kind of come up with ourselves. I had actually had some experience working for a warehouse this past summer, and so I thought that would really tie into this project really well. So we ended up choosing a large company. We chose Amazon, but specifically their warehouses, so not their offices, executive offices or other departments, specifically their warehouse and their warehouse employees. As we began researching, we found a lot of interesting things. And so the way we structured our report was we started with what their current work schedule is. And this is the portion that I really dove into the most, just how their shifts were scheduled, how their employees worked throughout the day, how many hours they worked, how many days a week they worked, and also just like the experiences that they had, some of the benefits that they had along with those work schedules. As we started researching the Amazon warehouse work schedule that they currently have, we found a lot of problems with working conditions or other things that employees really weren't happy with. And so our next section of the analytical report started to highlight some of these problems that we found as we were researching their work schedules. Once we kind of highlighted those different problems, we then dove into a comparison to other warehouses, seeing what problems other warehouses had, maybe, for example, Walmart, and the ways that they compensated for those problems. So we found a lot of great information from how other warehouses were working. And once we were able to compare and contrast, we decided to transfer and revise the work schedule that Amazon currently has from a 2-shift workday to 3 shifts. So this was able to cut back on the hours that people were working, and was also just hopefully a way to increase and promote efficiency for the entire company as a whole. Transitioning into some questions that would come from the big interview, to describe what my current role was or my role within the project. To be completely honest, I had a lot of outside time competing activities and tasks that were occupying my time. And so at first I was kind of trying to hold back and let somebody else take the lead, and just give them the opportunity to just take the lead on the entire project. But no one really stepped up into that role. And so I see myself as pretty much a natural leader and a lead by example type of person. And so when this position wasn't being filled, I decided to go ahead and step into that role. And I would say overall, like, it was definitely a collaborative project. Everybody did their part and things like that. But I think I took it upon myself, and really Katie as well, to make sure that everybody was on the same page, that we were scheduling times to meet outside of class to get things done, that everybody knew what their assigned sections were, and just were aware of the steps of the process. At the end, before we submitted it, I was actually the one who put the final paper together and ensured that the formatting was correct. And before I submitted it, I made sure to send it to everybody else to get their opinions and make sure that they were okay with the final project before I fully submitted it. Speaking upon my education and how that kind of contributed to this role specifically, I have taken a lot of leadership courses. Specifically right now I'm in agricultural leadership, and I think that this has contributed to being able to help lead a group project to complete the entire analytical report. I've also taken English composition courses and oral communication, things of that nature that the university requires, that really helps being able to communicate as a group effectively, so that we were able to work as a team to get this entire project done. I think one of my weaknesses throughout the project that really came to light was being able to call people out. We definitely didn't have a group member that was not willing to put forth the effort, but there were a few times that I felt like the work wasn't being split up completely even, or that every single team member was willing to contribute extra time towards the project. So once I had completed my share, which was a little bit more than what it was supposed to be, I really had to step out of my comfort zone and ask some of my group members if they would be willing to take some of the other sections into their hands and contribute in that way. There were a few sections that hadn't been assigned to anybody at the end that needed to be completed, and so we really had to divvy those up. And at first I was a little bit nervous to ask people to do it, but I really wanted to make sure that everyone was being able to contribute to the project. And I think one of my strengths is being sure that everyone's voices are heard, and that not only that, but they're being implemented into the project. So I thought it was really important that the talents and gifts that each individual had, they were able to use those to help us complete the project. I also had to trust in my team members that they were going to be able to get this done. I think that this is one of my strengths because I come from a student athlete background. I've really had to communicate and be on a team for the last 4 years, and if you can't trust your teammates, you won't be successful. And so just being able to trust that my classmates and my team members were going to complete their assigned sections well to get the project done was pretty important. But overall, it was just really amazing to see how everyone's work came together for the final report. I was a little bit nervous about how the assigned sections would transition since we all wrote them individually, but actually everyone really did an incredible quality of work and they transitioned really well. My group was definitely willing and happy to participate. We met outside of class time. There was no one that was not willing to work with the group. All someone had to do was ask them to help. So it was definitely a collaboration to get the entire project done. But I do think that I helped with leading it and making sure that everything was getting done in a timely manner. I really enjoyed working with everyone, and I would definitely choose to work with them in the future. And I think that we could work together to complete an even better report now that we've already done it as one. So I really enjoyed the project. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to partake in it. And I think it really has helped me to build communication skills, teamwork skills, and even writing and research skills. That's something that I haven't been able to put into practice lately since I haven't had to do reports in other classes for a while. So it was really nice to build upon those skills that I already have.